So where are we headed to now?
We're going to come over here and take a look at this greater blackback nest and see if we can take a look at the eggs that it's incubating.
Okay.
Let's take a look. Okay, now you can see that it's stood up and it's going to move away from the nest. And as long as we don't stay here too long, we can come over and take a peek at the eggs. So here we have a typical greater blackback nest on this island. You can see that it's made up primarily of seaweed. There's bits of upland vegetation. There's some plumage, some feathers, and some shell matter. They basically take advantage of whatever they have available and they create a nest here on the beach. What we have in front of us is a typical clutch of eggs, which is 3 eggs that these birds produce. Now, these birds will double clutch, which means if the first group of eggs is lost due to predation, they will lay 3 more eggs and try to hatch those out. So we're here at another blackback nest where the chicks hatched out some time ago. They are still do not have their flight feathers at all. They still have their pin feathers. They're still well camouflaged in that mottled coloration to protect themselves against that rocky surface. And while they're able to move around, they're not able to collect food by themselves. So they're still at a point where the parents take turns leaving the island, collecting food and bringing it back to them. If you look at the bill of the adult bird, there's an orange spot on the tip of it. And the chicks, if they peck at that spot, is a stimulus for the adult to regurgitate food to them. So they leave the island, they collect food and bring it back and feed the chicks for a couple of months that it takes for them to develop their flight feathers before they're able to leave the island. So here again we have an adult with 3 chicks and the adult is protecting them while they're right in this little area. So we have a greater blackback adult on this nest. We'll take a peek. We can see at least 1 chick. We'll take a look and see the status of the other eggs or chicks associated with that nest. On this nest, we have 1 chick that's already hatched and 2 other eggs. One of the eggs is in the process of hatching. The chick has to get itself completely out of the nest on its own. And in fact, they have a special adaptation called an egg tooth, a little sharp part of its beak that allows it to peck itself out of the egg. So if we want to come in and take a quick look, we can see an egg in the process of hatching. So here we have a nest where we have 3 different stages of hatching. We have a chick that's already hatched out, and you can see again that its plumage, those are not flight feathers at all. Those are downy feathers just designed to keep that chick warm. Then we have an egg that's not close to hatching, and we have an egg right in between where the chick is in the process of poking its way out of that shell. The parents do not help the chicks get out of that egg. It is up to them. They have a special adaptation on the tip of their beak, an egg tooth that is an extra sharp part of the bill that allows them to poke their way out, and they have to get out on their own, and once they do, then the adult will take care of it, but they won't help them get out.
How long does the hatching process take?
Well, what we'll see here, it takes them a while to actually break through, and they essentially poke a door out of the egg, and then through various pushing, they'll push themselves out of the egg. We're not going to see that happen in the time frame that we're here. That'll take place later today.
How long does it take before the chicks can go off on their own?
The chicks will be here for a couple of months while the parents bring them food and while they get their flight feathers. And then at that point, they're able to fly, they're able to leave, but in some cases the parents will continue to take care of them for another couple of months, basically through the summer. And then pretty much they're independent, they're on their own. We should see some bigger chicks at another location on the islands that may be developing flight feathers.
When will the 3rd egg be ready to hatch?
We would probably expect to see these hatch out in the next few days. They would all be hatched out. Yeah.
So they all hatch out around the same time?
Pretty similar timing. Realize as these chicks get older and start to move around, it's tougher for the adults to take care of them. So from an adult perspective, they want them all to be equally mobile so that as they shepherd them away from predation here on the face of the beach, they can keep track of them equally. So it definitely is going to help the youngest one to get caught up quickly.
Stay tuned to find out how this island went to the birds.